Happiness is a choice that we make every single day. Happiness is not dependent on other people or circumstances. So if you make your happiness dependent on other people, let's say on your wife or husband or your partner or whatever it is, sooner or later that person is not going to act a certain way and you're going to be disappointed, and because of that you're going to feel unhappy. So no matter what the other person does or says shouldn't influence your happiness. You need to be happy because you decide to be happy. Okay? It's not dependent on the circumstance or on a person. The same is true about things that happen in your life. Okay, you can say, oh, I'm going to be happy once I reach that goal, or once I get the promotion, or once I save that much money, then I'm going to be happy. But the truth is that what are you going to do in the meantime? Are you going to be unhappy? No, it's pointless. You should be happy today for no particular reason. Because if you're happy for a certain reason, you're in trouble, because that happiness or that reason can be taken away from you. And then you're going to feel unhappy all of a sudden. So never make your happiness dependent on people, circumstances, or things, or even goals. Okay? Happiness is a choice, and you decide to be happy. So be happy right now. The way you see yourself, your self-concept, is important for your happiness. And it has three parts. It has your self-ideal, your self-image, and your self-esteem. And your self-ideal are your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, basically the ideal person that you would like to be. Your self-image is the way that you see yourself and the way you think others see you. And your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself emotionally. When those three things are in line, that's when you are self-confident, and also when you feel happy, because your self-concept is in line with who you ideally want to be. And that's when you're going to be happy. People who are unhappy constantly complain. And complaining makes you even more unhappy. So a formula for unhappiness is complaining, and a formula for happiness is never to complain. So whatever happens in your life, never ever complain. Change the situation if you can, or change your attitude, but never ever complain. In order to be happy, you need to feel like you're in control of your life. And if you feel like you have no control over your life, you tend to feel more unhappy. Now, what we also need is certainty, which means, obviously, we need to have control, which means certainty, where you know you have a roof over your head, you know you have certain things in your life, and that help you to feel good about yourself. But at the same time, if everything is always certain, if everything is always, let's say, predictable or boring, then you're going to start to feel unhappy as well. So we need variation, okay? We need some excitement in our life. So besides certainty, we need also variation. So we need both, and it's a balance to a certain degree where we both feel happy, so we can feel happy. If you're constantly uncertain, if you have a lot of uncertainty and no control over the circumstances of your life, that's not good for you either, because that's going to make you feel like your life is based on luck, on chance, and that's going to give you a lot of anxiety. So, but you still need, besides having certainty, a certain amount of variation. That's why certain people do things like extreme sports, like bungee jumping or skydiving or whatever makes them happy, okay? Because that gives them that excitement. That's why we watch certain TV events, like, sports events and so forth, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So in order for us to be happy, besides having certainty, we need variation. Maybe you've heard of Maslow's pyramid of the hierarchy of needs. And that is very important to understand, because there's several levels in this pyramid that have to do or connected to happiness. So at first you have the physiological level. And those are things like food, shelter, security, and it's a basic needs, okay? And then you have safety, and safety is, that that your life is not in danger, that you're not gonna get shot when you walk out the door, or an animal eats you, or something like that. And then the next one is love and belonging. Okay, we humans, we can't function without a feeling of love or belonging. So that's the next level. And the fourth level is esteem, which means that you need to feel good about yourself, about what you do, and you need to be respected. And the last one is self-actualization, which means that you want to fulfill your destiny. You want to fulfill whatever desires you have inside of you. And if you can do that, obviously that's when you're going to be happy, if you can fulfill your true destiny. And it's a normal part of life, of growing up. Obviously we all have dreams and wishes, and one day we want to accomplish them. But you can't go for your dreams. You can't go and live your destiny if somehow at the bottom things are not okay. If you have to worry if you're going to be kicked out of your house, or things like that. So it is a level by level process, and you need to first make sure that the basis is okay before you can go for your dreams. $1.2 billion people in this world live off $1.25 every day. And we often tend to complain about our lives, how bad our lives are, and how we don't have this or don't have that, because we constantly try to keep up with the Joneses, and we want to have a bigger house and a faster car, and this new thing and this new toy and so forth. But the problem is, if you constantly feel like you're trying to catch up, you're always going to feel somewhat frustrated or unhappy. So the key to happiness is being grateful, feeling grateful for the things that you have. You have people in your life that love you. You have a roof over your head. You live in a good place. You have food. You have all the basic things that you require in this life to have a normal life, so to speak. And that you should be grateful for. You have children, for example. Having children is a great thing. There's people out there who would love to have children. They can't have any children. And you feel unhappy because of whatever circumstances, but you have children. So be happy, be grateful for the things that you have. So once we realize that all the problems that we think we have, and let's say we put all our problems into a pile and other people put their problems into a pile, you will realize that your problems aren't so bad at all, and that you wouldn't want to trade your problems with the problems of another person, and you happily would take back your problem from that pile. So feel grateful for the things that you have, and the more grateful you are in this world, the more good things you will attract into your life. You need to let go of the past. The past is the past, and unfortunately, no one can change that anymore. Maybe bad things have happened to you, but you need to be able to forgive other people and yourself, because the past is something that you have no more influence over. But what you can do is you can have an influence over how you're going to go forward, what you're going to do from now on, okay? So whatever you've done or whatever happened in the past, you need to let it go. And you make a decision today to do it better, to do it the right way. Your past or your history is no proof for anything, okay? It doesn't mean that, let's say, because you always did it in a certain way and you always failed, that it means that, oh, okay, it's now proof for the future because you're going to fail again in the future because you failed in the past. That is not true. Your history prepares you. Your past prepares you for today. It made you stronger than you were in the past. You needed to learn certain things. You needed to overcome certain things. And maybe you failed, okay. But that failure now will give you the necessary knowledge to do it better and to move forward in a more positive way. In order to be happy, you need to focus on the good things in your life. If you focus on negative things, you will constantly ponder and dwell on negative things, and your life doesn't improve. And your energy flows where your attention goes. So the more attention you put or place onto positive things, the better your life will become. Laughter is often the best medicine to overcome a certain situation. Okay? Let's say you have a very difficult situation you have to deal with, or you had to deal with. And humor and laughter can often diffuse the seriousness of that situation. So, for example, let's say you went out one night and you had an argument with someone on the street, and the person tried to hit you, and what happened is, just by chance, he missed your face, and luckily you were able to get away. Okay, something like that. So this whole situation could have been serious, and you can ponder about it, you can think about it in a negative way, or you can tell it in a funny, laughing way. And you know what? It will not have as much weight anymore. It will take away the weight, the seriousness of that situation. And if you laugh about it, it will make it lighter. It will not be as heavy in your mind or in your situation. Okay, so whatever happens to you, always laugh about it. Always don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take other people too seriously, because if you take them too seriously, you're going to be unhappy. Okay. In life, nothing is ever perfect. Your job is never perfect. Your partner is not perfect. And let's say 80% of your job is good and 20% is bad. Now you can focus on the 20% that are bad, or you can focus on the 80%. And being happy means also being able to look beyond imperfections in whatever you do or with whoever you deal with. Okay? Nobody and nothing is ever perfect, and it doesn't have to be. Okay? So accept the good and the bad in people and situations. Don't take life too seriously, because you're not going to get out of it alive anyway. So sometimes being able to laugh at life, to have it less hard, to have it less serious, is going to make your life lighter and happier. Okay, being silly sometimes helps. Okay, and I want to encourage you just not to take everything so goddamn seriously, because it's not going to change the situation, first of all. Okay, it's not going to make it more important. If there's something that you can do to change it, you change it. If not, then change your attitude. But don't take everything so goddamn seriously. Often we get overwhelmed if our lives are so complicated, which means you have kids, you have career, you have money, you have to take care of responsibilities, you have to take care of everything all the time. You're juggling, and what it makes you unhappy, because you have such a big burden. And sometimes in life you need to ask yourself, why are you doing all this? What is the reason? And it helps to simplify your life. So whatever things you can change or get rid of them. Okay, and sometimes it's as easy as starting, let's say, in your office, where you start to clean up, where you get rid of the stuff that's been sitting on your desk for weeks, where you don't want to deal with it anyway. So simplify your life. It's going to make your emotional life better.